What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Diplodocus favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Cang Toys Brontosolid for their upcoming Volcanicus, loosely based on the G1 idea of the Dinobots, not really anything more than that. This is on loan to me from Robert D, and there was something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, Diplodocus. The only reason why I know the name of that dinosaur is from Dino Riders. That was like the green one for the good guys, and I remember sometimes they would call it Diplodocus, and sometimes they would call it Diplodocus. Just telling you what I know. All right, anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy, but in order to do so, we need to first look at accessories. So you get two of these. We'll talk about one of them. We got the rockets painted metallic red, silver, and gold with the pad printed paint. It does some extra stuff. We're going to leave it like this for right now. You can take this, which is an adapter piece. We'll go into more detail as we move through. Once again, fully painted. You want it in this configuration, and then you can take these, and I think you want that to the back. If not, we'll fix it 50-50, right? Same on this side. And I managed to screw that up. Do it so that it is symmetrical. And then take this, and you're taking this slot and that tab, and you're connecting it. And it is not the best connection in the world, to be honest, but it will go. There. God bless, dude. There. Now you can take this, fold this out, bring this down. That locks in. And then this spins. This comes up and the handle extends. And then he can hold that. It will tab into a palm in his hand, but once again, he doesn't hold it great. Similar to how it doesn't plug into his back great. Because it's huge and heavy, but that's how it's intended. In this configuration, it can also go onto alt mode. There is a tab slot. And once again, there it is. That fits much better and is much more successful. All right, let's go ahead and get in tight on the head sculpt for Dennis, and nicely done, silver and gold paint along with the gunmetal paint. It does have the what you call, I don't know where my light is at the moment, but the light piping that makes the face look dead, which is stupid, but that's what they went with. Head is on a ball peg. You get up to there. Nothing really down. You get a little bit of a swivel before it butts into these shoulder mounts. It's fine. Torso, we have the metallic red. That looks good. Metallic, actually that's more the gunmetal. A little bit of the silver. We have some gold paint up here. Some translucent plastic over top. Some pad printed paint on the chest. You get a waist swivel and an ab crunch. So that's nice. No issues there. Moving on to the shoulders. So you have this shoulder pad here with some pad printed paint, silver and gold, metallic red. All that looks good. Painting is not this company's issue. You get a universal joint. Tolerance is once again an issue. You get out a little bit past 90 degrees. No bilified. No, that's a transformation joint. Okay, I mean, like it's pulling the figure apart, so I'm not going to count that. Double jointed elbow gets you pretty close to the full run. Once again, moving down, we have the same sort of details, the silver and gold, metallic red, and a little bit of pad printed paint. The wrist, swivel, hinge outward. The thumb is on a... Oh, the thumb on this one is missing. That's probably in the box. I'll have to double check that. And then we have fingers here that are on baseball pegs that come out to a secondary knuckle. So you get you get Typewriter fingers, which isn't great, but not the worst either necessarily, because these fingers go pretty straight. So they circumvented that with good engineering range, so that's good. Okay, let's adjust the camera a little bit. Hip skirts. They get up and out of the way, all sorts of metallic colors on them. Saying that we've kind of addressed the reds, the silvers, the golds, some pad printed paint with detailings and such. Par for the course. This piece can range up and get out of the way on a double hinge. Ratcheted hips, they get you out for the full Van Dam. Forward and back to there, not quite the full Monty, but more than you'll ever need. Thigh swivel. Double jointed knee that gets you at least 90 degrees. And let's see what else we got. So we have, the knees are a little wonky because the lower joint moves around. So you had to adjust for it. When you get it in hand, you'll see what I mean. Same on this metallic red. We have a translucent piece that overcomes that, encapsulates that, and then we have some silver and gold, all that sort of thing. No big deal. Ankles tilt down, toe tilt up, and a limited rocker. For these bits, they do articulate. They hinge, 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 so you can have them all sorts of ways. And we'll talk a little bit more about their functionality in Dinosaur mode, but just know that, like, you know, you can do an awful lot with them range of motion wise. You know, aesthetics are subjective. It's not necessarily something that I think looks cool, but it is what it is. Let's do some size comparisons. Size comparison wise, there it is next to the Fans Toys Sludge. So significantly smaller, and I want to say that hasn't always been the case with all the Dinobots, but maybe it's because of the limb mode that they have to, you know, sort of adjust here and there. But yeah, interesting nonetheless. I don't really have anything else that would make sense to show them in comparison to, so I'm leaving it be. All right, let's get them transformed. Open up this. The hand rotates in, and the paws, dog paws, rotate out. Make sure that hand is nice and tight. Anytime that they do fingers with ball pegs, they have a tendency to not be the easiest to sort of sort out in that regard. Okay, and then collapse the toes to the animal at the heel there. Okay, all right. Your shoulder pad needs to come up and over, and this piece, you can see that, goes around to the back and has to slide into that notch and then rotate that piece down a taste. So we're going to do that again. You know, every time I review one of these, it just feels like I'm going 12 rounds with, you know, Muhammad Ali. There we go. In, close, and then the shoulder up and over. I think this goes to the back. I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure at the moment. And then the top of the shoulder pads rotates back. There's a little bump that'll slide into there, and then rotate the red piece up a taste. All right, we have to bring this chest piece down, flip the head in, and then move the chest piece back, and we can rotate these two bits on the backpack as well. Get this out of your way for now. This needs to unplug. So when you go to spin this, you want to make sure that this T-bar sits over top of this T-bar. Then that piece will sit down, and make sure you got this turned this way, with one gold facing down and the next gold facing up. And then on this end, I think you just straighten this and then rotate that tail, but then make sure that you have that piece sorted as well, so that you've sort of elongated the middle bracket, but also sat the two cross members over top of one another. Then you have this outer section. These two pieces need to swing forward. Well, forward's gonna be backward, but... And these pieces come out, and I'm gonna show you from this side. You need to swivel that whole section around, and then this comes up and over, and that bar grabs the cross members that you straightened out, and that silver piece here grabs the back of the neck of the Brontosaurus. At that point, the two red shoulder guards can come up and grab a hold of those side tabs. And I can't get it right now, but it's these that are going into that. Hip skirts come up and around. I can't see anywhere where they tab in. I'm going off of their instructions, so God help us all, but tab in. Or no, don't tab in. Just lay down. Extend the leg. Spin it around. This red piece will come up and cover down on that. And then this section, I think, just comes and sits around on that side. Take the foot, open it up, collapse that section just to condense the foot. Rotate the entire lower leg over to encapsulate the thigh. Leg up, back, and around. And I think that's one. Let's go ahead and try to do that again. Not the most elegant. Open this up, take this out, spin it red to the back there, and then this piece comes down and sort of, I don't even know, sits something like that. And then the foot opens up, collapses, the leg comes all the way around, and then the back leg comes up. What's going on here? Yep. Spins around. And then spin the foot around. And then these back two sections connect. Alright, so then this has to come back because those two gold pieces here have to fit into those two tabs. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it, but I'm going to try my best. So let me see if I can figure that out, and I'll come back. Alright, then underneath, take your... I'm not going to get this either, am I? These bits are supposed to come down here and lock down into the thighs. I think I've got it as close as I want. Now, this tail can kind of like collapse in on itself, but in my opinion, with that, you lose a little bit of the articulation, so I'm keeping mine separate. Let me clean it up, we'll take a look at it. So there it is. I did get that plate plugged in up here. I feel like you could probably get this a little bit tighter, but it's hard. It's a difficult transformation, man. Like, for those that have been following me, I've been pretty sure that Cang Toys or whatever it is somewhere connected down the line in some manner to G Creations, and it just keeps continuing to prove me right because I've never dealt with any sort of engineering that reminds me so much of something so frustrating. But anyway, we'll try to go over it. So the paint deco and stuff all looks the same. The head gets down to here. I hate the head sculpt. It looks like a rooster. It doesn't even look like a dinosaur. But you can get all the way down, all the way up. You can get side to side, swivel at the head itself. So it does articulate fairly well. Obviously a lot of breakup in order to make that happen. The tail articulates well when it is separate. When it's combined, it's a little bit more stable, not stable, solidified. And then arms are the same arms. The legs are the only thing that's different. So you get forward, backward, out to the side. You get an ankle rocker. And like, I don't know, the more you mess with it, the more it starts to come apart. It's really upsetting to me. Like, just as an experience, you know, I've only got 2 more of these left. I've given my word that I'm going to try to see it through to the end. I'm not making any promises further on that, but I am going to say that this is more than likely, this is my last Cang Toys combiner endeavor, these dinosaurs. There it is next to Tiger Tracks, you know, and then let me get you in next to Sludge. So there he is next to Sludge. So, you know, like Sludge is way beefier, you know, taller neck, but that's about all the other one has in terms of size. Hope that helps. All right, unplug these red pieces of the shoulder, and then they'll actually double hinge down on both sides. And these bits here come around to the front. And actually, you know what? I probably could have... No. It's alright. Round to the front. And I think these pieces can fold back up as well. And we got to deal with all this again. So untab this. That goes to the side. This comes up and I think rotates that way. The head needs to spin around. And then once again, this needs to spin so that everything is, I think, sitting to the side. And we'll adjust it if we need to as we go. Okay, arms. We need to bring the fist back out. And why isn't that going? There's another thumb removed. All right. Fold this up. And bring this up and over. And then this piece that we had to seat in those ridges unseats itself and folds back. And then this comes down, and that comes down, and then the whole thing folds to the front. So same on this side. Open. Bring the fist out. Why isn't this? Why is this giving me grief? There. All right. Bring this up on the double hinged elbow. the shoulder pad comes over and grabs it. The piece that we seated within that ridge unseats and folds back. Paws, dog paws sit up against it. And this rotates down and forward. Take the feet, tuck them up, bring this around and tuck it in. And on this side, we want to bring down these little, I don't know what they are. They're on double hinges, that's what they are. On this side, we're going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to tuck the foot up, bring this around, sit it in, and then bring this buddy here that's on a double hinge down. All right, the tail needs to open up, and we need to tuck one piece in and then close it. I think this is what you're looking for here. The armature, the cross member is now sitting across one another again. It comes out here, goes up, over, and down. And then you can turn at the base of the tail to make sure that it aligns right. That's the closest I can get it. All right, the rooster head, you gotta fold in once. There's another set of hands in the neck I just found, so you could probably use those in robot mode. I just completely missed it. And then open this up and fold that in. So let me see if I can get you to see this a little bit clearer. So that's the part that drops down. So if it's sitting out like this, fold it up. And then right here at the base, you want to turn the head. Make sure that this chicken head collapses all the way to the bottom here. And then it has this opened up. I'm not sure if that's necessary or not, but it does. And then you want to fold this underneath. And then you want to bring that whole bar up, and that will tab in to the back here. And then get them up and out of the way, bring this around, spin that 180, leave this out, and then they show this just collapsing, but I'll be damned if I can get it to. Let me see if I can collapse this side. Yeah. I'm at my wit's end with this stuff, man. Like, we're beyond this. Let me see if I can mess with this and get it to work. So that's the closest I could get it, and it ain't right. I think this side is a little bit closer than this side. I'm out. I'm out on Cang Toys. I'm not finishing this. It's not worth my time, effort, energy, and frustration. I'm out. Like, it shouldn't be this way. This is a hard pass for me. I still did not break it, but it broke me. So I don't know if I should reset the board or not, but I am done. This thing. Final thoughts wise, we'll start with the negatives. The weapons are pretty much useless. They don't secure to his back nicely, and it's too heavy for his hand to completely balance and utilize the weight when it's kind of in melee mode. On top of that, we have the light piping for the eyes. Poor choice. We're way past that. As a result, the eyes look dead most of the time. And then we have the kind of typical Cang Toys tolerances where every joint is squeaking at you every time that you try to move it, with very few exceptions. There's just not a lot of growth with this company, in my opinion. Not a lot of learning from their mistakes. A lot of business as usual, and business is mediocre at best. And I'll be honest with you, the transformation of this stuff, man, it shouldn't be this way. You know, like, I even watched their like tutorial video when I was getting stuck. Like, they make quick cuts and shoot around stuff and everything. Like, you can't talk slick to a can of grease. Like, I see the game with this company, and I'm not playing anymore. I wouldn't buy this for my worst enemy. Maybe my worst enemy. My second worst enemy, I wouldn't buy this for. Moving on to the positives, the paint is once again brilliant. The sculpt is cool. I'm not sure if it encapsulates or embodies the character at all, but it's a cool sculpt. There's ratchets and good hardware. The materials also feel good. I wish I had more good to say about it, man. Like, I tried to fight the good fight here. It's just not worth it to me. Like, it lowers my quality of life. It like this and Dreamstar toys. Like, in 2025, I'm out on this type of stuff. It's clumsy, it's sloppy, and it's obnoxious. And I can spend my time better. So I'm quitting on reviewing this stuff. I definitely recommend you quit buying it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.